I'm going to read it here. This is from a guy or a girl named Redbird on YouTube. This was actually this morning, the comment. So I might actually end up clipping this one for the channel, but I'm going to read it here and we're going to talk about it. So the comment here is, this is why Bitcoin will win. This is why Bitcoin will win people over in the long run. These welfare and wealth extraction, like tax, combos to transfer value from one set of the population, productive, to another part of the population, unproductive and managerial, cannot be escaped by voting or the standard democratic process. Too many people got accustomed to it or depend on it, and these people will vote harder than the rest who get alienated or abused by it. Not to mention, when you get these fake leaders elected to continue the system of free gives, Bitcoin is the forced reset these systems need and that will truly have an impact over the long run. I fully expect in the future liberties to diminish for people in general due to the government's last dying attempts to maintain control and extract wealth from everyone as hard as they can. And proportionally, people will use more and more systems that don't rely on their ecosystem. I expect to see more tax evasion, lack of fucks given when it comes to the black markets by population, as these clowns ruin things more and more. All we can do as Bitcoiners is educate our friends and people around us on how to use peer-to-peer tools so that we can starve this beast. I fully agree with that. And that's kind of the part of Bitcoin, right? So we talked about the comment earlier about how this is all, what do they call it? We are the fools for believing in this. This is the trap door into slavery, Bitcoin. They actually said crypto and NFTs is, but I think it's the exact opposite. I think that Bitcoin, whether people are buying it or not at this point, I think the fact that most people are waking up to the corruption, the rigged system, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Jeffrey Epstein's, as people wake up to all these hard truths, that's when they just start saying, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not paying my tax anymore, because why would I? Why would I pay my taxes to these people when they clearly do not have my best interest in mind? And so as they keep doing dumber and dumber things, as Redbird said here, people are just going to stop giving a fuck about it. They're going to stop paying their tax. They're going to stop listening to the news. We're in that transition phase right now where there's still a decent part of the population who watches CBC News, who watches CNN News, but it's going to fade away. And as younger people and as this next generation starts to kind of make the decisions, that whole system is just going to slowly fade away. We're going to starve the beast, and Bitcoin is like the main tool with that. And so they said, all we can do as Bitcoiners is educate our friends and people around us on how to use peer-to-peer. I mean, that's the kind of the part that I disagree with. I think that if we focus our time and energy on educating our friends and people around us, we're not spending enough time on our own network. Those people they're going to come to us when they need us. I believe that. And that's why I don't go out of my way anymore to like text friends or, promote Bitcoin too much in these different circles, because they don't care. I don't care. We're still too disconnected there. What I would say is what we can do as Bitcoiners is to grow our networks. And the more we can start growing our networks and connecting with other people on Earth who share this same belief system as us, Bitcoin, that's the underlying theme that we all have in common here. Some of us like golf, some of us like bodybuilding, some of us like gardening. But the underlying belief system that we all share is Bitcoin. And I think that once you have that, you kind of know what you're getting with people. And so if you start building your networks at a local level and in a virtual level, you can get out of that system. You can further starve that system, because instead of having to buy and sell Bitcoin and go back through the fiat rails, you can actually just find somebody within your network to buy meat from, to buy honey from, to buy different products and services. If you can expand your network enough yourself, not trying to orange pill or educate other people. If you can find other people who are already there, that's how you can escape faster. And you lead by example with that. And then when you're having conversations with your friends, you're not talking about some hypothetical situation here. You're talking about the fact that You're using this currency. You have the ability. This is the tool that allows you to escape that system. And you've grown your network in a way where you hardly even use the fiat system anymore. So it's not a hypothetical. It's a real life use case and a real life scenario that you can talk about and share that story instead of trying to tell people why 21 million matters or the decentralized aspect of Bitcoin or running a node, all that stuff. Nobody cares about that because they don't understand it. You say, I grew my network enough that I can totally use Bitcoin in my own way, in my own system. I don't have to worry about what Justin Trudeau says or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris says. I don't care. I'm completely out of that system. So instead of spending your time worrying about what your friends and family are doing, whether they're getting enough Bitcoin, focus on yourself and grow your network and add value to people and earn Bitcoin. And the more Bitcoin you can accumulate, the more influence you're going to have in the future. Not necessarily on the Bitcoin code itself, but in terms of your local community and the choices that are made with that. I think we'll end with that. Unless there's any more questions today, I think that that should be our focus. Everybody here is number one, whatever Bitcoin you have, any amount, whether it's 500,000 sats or 50 million sats, 5 Bitcoin, 50 Bitcoin, whatever amount you have, focus on how to protect that. Invest your time, invest your cash if you need to pay somebody to help you with it, or get into a structure where it's much more secure. Get a device that's more secure. But number one, protect your Bitcoin. Number two, focus on earning sats. Find ways wherever you are, even if you're working a 9-to-5 job right now, think of ways, brainstorm every morning, sit down and think of 10 things you could do to earn sats. Because the more sats, the more influence you're going to have at a local level in your own community. So find ways to earn sats. That's the key, is getting a sats flow. And then number three is growing your network, which you're already doing. You're part of this community here, but consider being more active in it, or consider reaching out to people and say, hey, I saw you talking about this. I want a little bit more information, or I saw you talking about this. I think that there's an opportunity for us to do this. Or just say, like I'm in Alberta. Is there anybody, do you know anybody within this region who is selling meat or whatever it is? And don't just solely rely on this community. Start going to different meetups, even if you have to drive for a while. I'm thinking about driving to fucking Alabama next month to play golf with a couple people from Noster. So build what you have, but also expand and start meeting people in real life. That's how you're going to escape the system. So don't focus too much on, your friends, your family, making sure that they're well off. Make sure that you're well off, because unless you're there, you're not going to have any influence and you're not going to have any ability to help them. So folks, get what you can, grow your network, and figure out how to protect that Bitcoin.